Hello everybody and welcome to video 1 of this attempt of an XCOM 2 War of the Chosen casual walkthrough. For those of you who are joining us from our last one, which was probably, good lord, it's probably about 5 years ago, the last time I put up a video. It was part of the casual walkthrough that obviously you're aware of for the original XCOM 2 remake by Firaxis. And unfortunately, while I was in the midst of that campaign, we had some technical issues. My computer stopped being able to record things without having problems. It was an old computer and it served me well, but I now have a new rig, and after several years and more gray hairs, I'm back. And I had some more recent students say, hey, you should put some more videos up there. And I thought to myself, that'd be really cool, but I don't have any other videos. Well, I'm addressing that right meow. So I do need to give a shout out to the original motivator behind this, to the former student. Evan, you know who you are, and you very well could be watching this video after it's posted. Again, just for a casual walkthrough, if you're a person who just kind of came across this and is curious about, like, hey, I'd like to see a full walkthrough of XCOM 2, this is not the walkthrough for you. This is a casual walkthrough, which basically means we're going to be looking at the missions, strategies, tactics, fun stuff that we do. Again, you know, enjoying ourselves shooting fictional aliens. If you want to do all of the stuff, there's some other ones out there on YouTube you can find. But if you're still here for funsies, thanks for joining us. So our first mission today this is not our first tutorial mission, the one that you get where everyone gets selected to fill a particular class at the beginning of the game. It's the first mission after that, because that mission is pretty redundant and pretty boring. And again, this is a casual walkthrough, not a thorough, comprehensive walkthrough. So the first actual mission that is brought to us by our kind of ship's commander, even though we're the commander. But anyway, so our objective is very simple. We find the Advent Field Commander, we kill them, and we kill anything else. And if we need to blow them up, we blow them up too. It's fun for the kids. So, real quick intro to our cast. For those of you who have seen this before, you're familiar with these people. I imported the character files from the original XCOM 2 game because I love this crew so much. Of course, we've got our Ranger, Jaeger Volkov, codenamed Snake. I love me some Rangers. They're great. We've got Claire Gerard, who did not get an official nickname yet. I decided to let the game do that one for me. She is our specialist. Love specialist. I love all of these classes, but definitely Ranger and then specialist and sniper. The one I like the least is the Grenadier, but they're still very useful. Our sniper is, of course, Silje Amundsen Iskald, which is Norwegian for icy, according to Google Translate. So if any of you are Norwegian speakers out there, I apologize if it's a bad translation. It just sounds cool. Again, she's our sniper. I love snipers. Snipers are great. Anytime you can kill something from a distance without risking getting blown up is always a positive. And then, of course, the namesake of the motivating reason why I put these videos out there, Mr. Basham as a Grenadier. And if Mr. Basham is watching, yes, sir, you are British. But as you'll see your picture up close to, I gave you some really awesome facial hair and a skull painting on your face, so you look like a very intimidating British person. So this is our first mission. As you can tell, the setting is kind of dank. It's sewer-like. In fact, it is the sewers. Kind of a newer mission. You don't see this a lot in the original XCOM 2 game. There's some additional board-type things that you could do. But you may have noticed it's fairly tight quarters. So some of the units, the Ranger and the Grenadier, and to a lesser extent, the Specialist will have a little more utility in here, whereas the Sniper will have a little less utility, but all still very useful. So a couple big key things here. First, when you're moving, in case you have not played and forgot, when you move, if you go anywhere within this blue border area, you're allowed to put up an Overwatch shot when you stop moving. So that way, if something tries to kill you and moves, you could actually shoot them back. If we end up moving past that into this yellow area, then you're just moving there, and you don't get to shoot anything when you go there. And that's a little disappointing when you stumble into someone. Excuse me, I'm enjoying my Diet Sunkissed Orange Soda. Oh, sorry, zero sugar, because why not? All right, so early in the game, you have to understand too. The game's not gonna hammer you with stuff. I'm playing on veteran status, difficulty level. It's not the easiest level, but it's also not the super hardest one. Um, but understand, they want to ease you into the game a little bit. Also, we're not playing Iron Man. Uh, Iron Man is you play through, you don't get saves, you just keep on going. Versus we are not playing Iron Man, so if something really stupid happens, we always have a save we can go back to, and the game does automatically save at various times. You can set it to do that and set it to not do that. But without any further ado, we're going to start progressing through the sewers here. And again, early on, you can keep your crew pretty close. It's one of those cardinal things, never to keep them bunched up. But early on, you can get away with it, and you're probably going to be okay. More than likely, you're not going to run into some bad guys right away, just barely moving from where you are. And again, I try to stay within the boundaries of the blue so that you can get an overwatch shot, because otherwise, you got a whole world of problems if you run into somebody and you're not ready for it. Certainly in these early rounds when you have lesser hit points and no armor. All right. So one kind of fun tactic that I like, not so much fun as much as it's just a self-preservation tactic. I always try to have like a sniper or somebody on Overwatch every time I move after that first round. Just in case you stumble into somebody, like right around this corner, there might be some bad guys. And if that's the case and any of them run here where it can be seen, your sniper at least could get a shot off at them. Maybe pick off an easy one. But we need to still kind of progress because you don't have an unlimited time. As soon as you find the field commander, there's going to be a timer set on, so you can't just sit here and dawdle the entire day. All right, keep him hiding behind barrels and a pipe. I guess those won't blow up if you shoot them. Maybe. All right, and again, they should be your leading troops here. Your grenadier, your ranger. They're the ones who do the most damage. Up close. You get your sniper up close, you get some penalties. Your specialist doesn't dish out as much damage, so you got to be very cognizant of that. All right. Yeah, the specialist is very much a support troop, but I would argue essential as well. All right, so we hear some noise up in that direction. So through there, I have a feeling we will see something through there. All right. Well, now we're still incognito, which is the nice thing. The aliens have not seen us, so that's a very good thing. Because if they do see you, and the moment you come into their line of sight, they're gonna start to move to attack, and that always ends up being a problem. But they don't see us yet, so we can kind of really sprint and position ourselves, hopefully in a way that won't draw attention. Let's get this guy here, so at least if we get attacked by something, we can shoot at him. All right, so it looks like we got a subway here. That's always fun. Oh. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we got some sectoid, and then it looks like an Advent soldier. So you notice the Advent soldier's got 3 hit points, pretty easy to take down. This guy's got 7, or no, 8. Yeah, I can't count. 8, which could be tricky, but they have no defense. And if you get a chance to do a melee attack against them, you absolutely shred them, which is great. So, well, here's the thing. So I could shoot this guy, which would be fun, but I don't necessarily want to do that yet. We are going to keep her like this. We're going to move her here. And then do some Overwatch. Okay, well, we can't really do anything without Snake alerting it. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna use the Grenadier's best friend, which is his big old grenade launcher. So we're gonna make a door in this thing. We should be able to kill that other soldier, but we're going to definitely damage this sectoid and hopefully Gerard will get a shot. Now you only get 2 of those maximum per thing until you get later on. You can add to it. There we go. Look at that nice door. It's just made a nice easy path. All right, we dropped the one guy. Now will we hit on the Overwatch shot? I guess there could be 2 of them. Good, you ran the right way. Not quite dead. There we go. Excellent. There, so we took care of all of that without having to even use snake, so that's good. Now here's the thing: we lost our silence, but what are you gonna do? So we're gonna be running into probably, I'd say probably 2 more groups. So I guess we'll see what we will see. Again, we're gonna overwatch with our sniper just to be safe. Now again, we've got 6 turns until this transport comes in and takes that that Advent commander, and we generally cannot allow that to happen. So realistically, what we need to do is get pretty close to here, because that commander is going to show up somewhere around here, and we can cap him then. All right. It's always tricky, though, when you blow a hole. Sometimes you're kind of in between. You don't get to maximize your movement. Let's move up here. You're only going to use a pistol. This is always tricky because you want to keep them there, but they still need to be able to see it. And early on, your snipers don't have the greatest vision in the world. All right. Okay, well, let's do this. I don't trust bringing our specialist up that far that quickly. We have 5 turns, not 2 turns. Look at that. You sound like a Brit, Mr. Basham. He's got him covered. Yeah, it's not the ideal movement, but we'll be able to press forward. All right, well, there's definitely something right through this hallway. So, well, there we go. See, look at that great facial hair, man. All right, well, we took half its life, so that's good. We should be able to finish these 2 off pretty easily, either with Overwatch shots and then our actual turns. Hello? That's kind of rude. Here, watch this. We're going to move you right here. We're just going to peek right around the corner, and we're going to shoot you. Or we'll just shoot right through the wall. I mean, why finesse when you can not finesse? All right, sneak ahead here. You get Lyrium Core. Those are good. You need those to do pretty much anything good for upgrades in armor, in weaponry, all that other stuff. All right, well, we're going to risk running up here. And, of course, now we can get the sniper up here a ways. So now we got 3 turns left. So now it's going to start to get a little bit tight. A little bit tight. We have to run this guy up here. You know what? And I totally forgot to overwatch with my sniper. Crap. Let's do that. These 2 are a little closely bunched, but we still haven't seen another mob here. Where's it? This guy's going to be showing up here or something. It's going to be kind of ugly. But this time we're not going to forget to at least overwatch here. All right, Mr. Basham. Let's see you do something wild and crazy and potentially stupid. Let's see how this works out. Okay. Well, that's just fascinating. Again, we're a little bit bunched now. Again, these two would get hit with a perfectly placed grenade, but all right, so we're going to have to drop this guy wherever the hell he is. Let's overwatch that. Good God. Where the hell are these things? Oh, there we go. We got some peeps. Oh, there's the commander. All right, excellent. So this is the #1 priority. We got to drop this guy. And of course, they're going to be like, hey, let's go run somewhere. Run somewhere where I can blow you up, please. Well, that's not where I can blow you up, jerks. Okay, that was beneficial. That really was. Here, we'll do this. I'm going to blow this guy up. It'll give us a better thing. We can at least run up and possibly, hopefully, shoot the commander with our sniper. Maybe. Well, she's overwatched. Ugh. Brutal. Yeah, this is going to be a problem, I think. Unless we get one more turn after that. Johnny cakes. All right, well, this is our last chance, I guess. We should be able to cap this thing. Especially when it's just sitting there. Mr. Basham, will you? There we go. Dropped. And nobody got hurt, which is good. And this should be the end of it, I believe. Beautiful. And it was a flawless one. Tells you all the enemies you killed. Sometimes you leave more on the board. It happens. You can take a mission photo, which is kind of fun as well. Check it out. Posing. Doing something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why I take photos. I did it like the first time. I thought, hey, that's actually kind of dumb. It gets a bit redundant if you're putting together a weird photo album. All right. That was our first mission. Again, pretty straightforward. Again, a little bit cautious, but early in the game, it's almost better to be cautious when you don't have a real big margin for error and you can't dish out damage. You have no armor and all that fun stuff. It also gives you all of these pointless things and percentages. You set a new record a lot. I mean, that's just the way it is. So you move on, you land back, and then if you have a promotion of any way, shape, or form, or any other perk, it's going to tell you right here. Looks like we got 2 promotions. All right, so these are fun. All right, so specialist. There's 2 different trees. So if you go with the left tree is kind of more of a buff, a health kind of thing. Again, this one you can stabilize someone who is and dealing with healing stuff. It's all well and good, but frankly, I don't use this very often. You shouldn't be getting hit that much. Otherwise, you're just a poor tactician. This one is great. Combat protocol. You basically send your little droid there, your gremlin, and it shocks your opponent. This does fantastic damage when you go face some robotic enemies. So I like to go this route. There's a lot of really cool things down this tree that I prefer. And it looks like Mr. Basham is tired, which is a newer thing. All right, so you get the option. You can do the left side, the Demolitions Expert. It makes you a little more sturdy, a little more defensive. The right side tree is a little more offensive. Blast padding, again, you take less damage from explosive attacks. Again, what the hell are you doing that you're in the middle of explosions all the time? You should be causing them, not soaking in them. So I generally don't use blast padding. Now, Shredder I like a lot. Some of your opponents are going to have armor. And if they've got, let's say, 3 armor and you hit something that for 5 damage, the armor is going to take 3 of that damage. And so you're only actually going to hit it for 2. And that can add another turn or 2 to something's life and possibly give them a chance to kill you. But if you shred it, there's a certain amount of armor that is going to be taken away on the attack. So it could shred 1 or whatever. So then from there on out, that fictional opponent would have 2 armor instead of 3. I'm a big fan of Shredder because there's some opponents in this game that have a fair amount of armor. And it makes it a lot easier. And again, I don't plan on standing in the middle of a damn explosion. That's just dumb. All right. You can get bonds. So what happens is with your characters, it tells you all the stuff that you get, which is great. Then they tell you about neat stuff. So, hello, Commander. Yeah. So it gives you through the whole story, which again, we're not going to do. Gets you to your first like end game quest thing to contact the resistance in a black site region. Again, kind of a fun little mission. We got an engineer for this, which is good. You need engineers, and you can use your engineers to empty out stuff because you empty out all these parts in your ship and all that fun stuff. But one new feature that you have is there's different bond levels that you have. So when you have troops that fight in the same missions a certain amount of time, they're going to get a bond with one another. And what you can do is hop out of that, and we'll go to the armory. And you can view the photos. Yeah, like, woo, cool. So you're going to view all your soldiers, and it shows all these bonds that are available. So let's say, so Yegor, let's go with Snake. You're going to do soldier bond. All right. So all of the soldiers develop relationships over time, but some will grow faster than others. If you send compatible soldier missions together, a lot of their friendships develop into strong bonds. And sometimes you get some really cool tactical benefits. You get bonuses to all sorts of things. And that really can mean the difference between success and failure. So the 2 different ones we could bond with are Basham or Iskald. I like to shoot things at close range like Mr. Basham, but I'm also, I have Norwegian ethnicity. It tells you the compatibility level. I'm going to go with this one just because. So I'm going to make a bond. So every time they're on a mission together, it's going to build that bond tighter and tighter, and potentially you get all these added things. You have a single charge shared between bond mates. Sometimes you can get your other person to move extra or do something like that by having a bond. It's kind of a neat thing. I have not, look at that. You can make your very own poster of the Deadly Duo. It's like something we got at Spencer Gifts. You can modify it and all that fun stuff. Cool, whatever. And you can change your photo booth stuff. I basically didn't really play with it much, but I'm sure it's fun to do. All right, so we've got all that fun stuff. Got your bond. But then that is the end of the first mission. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.